Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jewel Tolentino here. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be doing a story time video for you guys of when I got lost in the mall when I was 5 years old, and there was a mini search party for me. Alright, so I thought it would be fun to do a little story time video and just share a quick story about my childhood and something that happened to me that I would say impacted me for a while into my adulthood. So back when I was young, my parents loved going to the mall all the time. And we would go to the mall like every weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and eat at the mall, eat like McDonald's, and get popcorn and watch movies, and we would just always hang out at the mall. Well, I was 5 years old, and my sister was either 3 or 4 at the time, and it was a weekend, and we were just sort of walking around in the mall, and then, you know, before I knew it, I didn't know where my sister or my dad or my mom was. And I'm 5, and this was in the 90s. This was in the early 90s, probably 1990 or 1991. And at the time, there were a lot of abductions of children happening at that time. So it was a scary time for a small child to be lost because a lot of kids at that time were being abducted, and they were small children. And I remember this story very vividly because it was a very traumatic moment that happened to me. So I was in the mall, I'm lost, I can't find my parents or my sister at all. And obviously there were no cell phones or technology back then. I didn't even know how to use a payphone. I didn't know what my telephone number was. Like, I'm just a little kid. And I remember walking through the hallways of the mall, and the mall was called Richmond Center. I was walking through the hallways and I was just crying, and I was just like scared. And I was walking by this store called Mariposa. At the time I didn't know it was called Mariposa, but you know, later on I figured it out when, you know, as I got older and I went to that mall. And this lady that worked there ran out, and it was a very big clothing store. She ran out and she found me. And she brought me inside the store, and she let me sit on the counter, you know, where people do the cash transactions when you buy clothes and stuff. And I'm still sobbing and crying because I didn't know what was happening. And, you know, she was asking me about my boots because I was wearing these brown sort of boots, and I was telling her that they were the same boots that Macaulay Culkin wears, because we really liked Macaulay Culkin, and at the time Home Alone had just come out. So I was telling her these are my Macaulay Culkin boots, and Macaulay Culkin's my friend, and you know, at the time I like idolized him. And you know, I was there for a while, and they were just making me feel better, the staff, and just, they comforted me. And you know, if I could go back and figure out who they were, I would totally thank them, because I'm so glad that they found me, and, you know, not some other creepo that could have taken me away, which was happening at the time. So I was there for a bit, and then these cops showed up. There were about 2 or 3 cops, and they took me, and they were walking with me through the mall. And then, like, down the hall on these benches, I saw my mom and my dad and my sister, and my mom was, like, so happy to see me. And at the time I was wearing this like McDonald's sweater with purple, and you know the character Grimace? This is for old school people. If you know the purple character Grimace, that's what was on my shirt. And I saw that they had a sketch person like drawing a picture of me because they were about to do like this crazy search party for me. And so this cop comes, and then they're saying like, is this your daughter? And then she's like, yeah, this is Jewel. And like, it was such a relief at a time when things could have gone so horribly wrong. And I will say that when that happened, like, it stayed with me for a long time, to the point where when I started to get older, if I would get lost or separated from people in a place that I didn't know, I would start to get anxiety, and I would start to get nervous and sort of panicked. I've since been able to get over that, and obviously we have cell phones, and I have the capacity to find my way back if I were ever lost. But it would give me really bad anxiety, like sometimes even when I'm driving, before GPS was around and you had to like write down the directions or use a map. If I didn't know where I was going and I would make a wrong turn and I didn't have the, you know, the GPS to relocate you, I would freak out and have like an anxiety and have just stress and just have this scared feeling, because I'm pretty sure it stemmed back from what happened to me when I was 5-6 years old. But I have since gotten over that since I learned about, you know, the law of attraction and reading the book The Secret. I was able to get over that. And yeah, there are times where if I'm lost in another country, yeah, I'm gonna get a bit nervous, but it's nowhere near as what was going on with me up until I read that book. If you don't know what book I'm talking about, I'll put a link down to a video where I talk about how that book actually changed my life. So I just wanted to share sort of like a fun fact story. It's not really like a motivational story or anything like that. Just wanted to do like a quick story time video for you guys. Let me know if you've ever had anything like that happen to you when you were young. But, you know, that was really scary for me and for my parents, I'm sure, during that time. And just knowing that, you know, they had done a SketchUp of me and they were ready to like blast this out to see if anyone had spotted me. I'm so thankful to that lady at that store, Mariposa, who found me and brought me in, you know, before anyone crazy could have. So I just wanted to share that story with you guys. If you are interested in checking out that video where I talk about The Secret, the link will be down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Back from the dead.